Kumar coming in
first up. The Canadian bowlers under some pressure early on here. 6 runs picked up off of that.
And when you're chasing a small total like this, if you allow the pressure to build, you can get to some antsy moments. But when you take on the bowling like this, nothing like it.
Well, that's another one. He's trying to get it past the boundary. Not quite able to get it there. One bounce to the fielder.
Tremendous intent. You can see the pressure on the Canadians now. They know that if this gets out of hand in the first few overs, there's going to be very, very little to work with for the other spinners that could come into the game later, like Assad.
Beaten. Tried to go straight down the ground again.
Just missed out. And again,
kept a little low.
That's the biggest factor here in this match. It's the bounce. Accounting for that variable bounce.
Well, that's gone straight up in the air. And that's going to be the first one for Nepal. Canada get a breakthrough. And it's Anil Shah. Big moment this, knowing that they don't have a lot of runs on the board. Canada get an early breakthrough. Anil Shah gone for 9 off 5. Nepal 17 for 1.
And you wonder if he just got a little too carried away there. Already such a good start for Nepal, especially when you consider the total that they're chasing. And we'll get a look at the replay soon. Just swinging across the line. Flatter, shorter, and just going across the line, but no connection. Gets a thick outside edge that pops up, and Sana gleefully takes the catch.
A back of a length delivery as well, not really in place to play that shot. But it's Parveen Kumar, he gets the first breakthrough. A big moment this for Canada. Defending a small total today. Nepal only need 107 from 109 deliveries. They're not going to be too worried with that wicket, but the thing that's going for them today is A, the long total or the short total, and B, the fact that their batters have come out with such positivity and such intent. It makes a big difference, especially for the fielding side, knowing that you're defending a small total and you're being attacked from ball 1. Different sort of mindset. You put on the back foot from the get-go.
And we'll see, you know, if there's a shift now, a bit of a shift. You've lost the wicket. Do you continue to play with the same intent, or do you try to manage the situation a bit?
The spinners were so effective for Nepal as well. That's going to be the end of the second over. Nepal 17 for 1.
Please recall me. God help.
Positivity and such intent. It makes a big difference, especially for ball 1.
Seva is giving back to the community, making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So it's a no-frills thing to do.
I'm quite a no-frills shopper. Are you a no-frills shopper?
Yes, I am. Got one pretty close to me. So anytime I've got to make a last-minute stop, that's the option.
Kalim Sana back into the attack. Been phenomenal with the ball for Canada. Such a consistent performer. Opening with the ball up at the top. Just gives you confidence as a skipper, doesn't it? Throwing the ball to him, knowing that he's A, going to ask questions, and B, he's probably going to pick up wickets. He moves the ball well.
No question about it. And interesting change in tactics here, coming around the wicket. Obviously wasn't happy with what he was getting from over and coming across the batter.
Extra pace and really puts us back on that one. Good aggression this from Kalim Sana.
And he's such a thoughtful bowler, such an intelligent bowler. Works on such little intricacy during nets, during practices. Got a great head on his shoulders. So mature. And again, a great leader at the top of the bowling for Canada.
Oh, that's picked up, but it's high in the air. It's Dilpreet Bajwa, and he might have just taken the catch of the game there. Running backwards, never easy, and my gosh, is that a good catch.
And not too bad for someone just coming off passing a concussion test now.
Well, he's put Netherlands behind him, and he said, you know what, I'm going to show you just how well I can catch, and that's the second wicket for Nepal. It's Asif Sheikh, both openers gone.
That was absolutely brilliant. You look at Sana, short of a length. Ahoy trying to go over mid-on, and full stretch on the dive, going backwards. Read that beautifully. Fantastic catch by Dilpreet Bajwa.
And never in control, Asif Sheikh on that shot.
And you've got to say Canada's right back in it. 2 wickets in the power play, that's what you need. Obviously now they'll say, hey, let's go get a third.
Asif Sheikh gone for 8 off 9, and Nepal 2 down. 17 for 2. Canada have brought themselves back in this contest.
And all in just the past 6 balls, and you look at that 17 for no loss, and you see balls going to the boundary, and you feel that pressure, the way they've responded now to take these 2 wickets right back in this contest.
Well, he's buzzing, Dilpreet Bajwa in the field. He should be. What a catch that was. Game-changing moment.
And that type of catch can just lift the whole side. You look at the pressure that's been created with a pretty low total as we take a look at it again, reading it the whole way, moving backwards, and then the full stretch dive, 2 hands. Showcase that to all the kids trying to learn.
Superman. So that's going to be a wide. Definitely Superman there, wasn't he? Flying through the air. Never easy running backwards and taking it over your shoulder.
Super Bajwa. Excellent effort there.
Well, he certainly silenced the Nepal fans with that catch.
They're pretty quiet. They can feel the pressure. And again,
well, up and over and just out of reach. Well, that Ansh Patel in the deep. He's not the tallest of players, but I can tell you the skipper, watching from the non-strikers, he would have had his heart in his mouth. He did not want another wicket.
Short and wide and slapped cut. Ooh, just a bit too inside the boundary. Would have definitely had a better shot at it if he was right on the rope. And just going over his head, well over his head, but still 4. And that tells you, you know, maybe you want to be right up on the boundary in that situation. In this situation, with Sana getting some good bounce off the wicket when he's going short.
Left alone, Kalim Sana. He does hit the deck hard as well, doesn't he? I think that was also part of the undoing of Asif Sheikh's shot. It just had a bit extra bounce on it. Got in an awkward height for him to be able to play that.
Couldn't get in
front
of it.
Big difference.
It'll be interesting to see how big a moment that is. Could have had the 3rd wicket and would have been a big one with the skipper, Rohit Patel, to get him back in the pavilion.
Guided. And it's going to be a single to end the over. Nepal 23 for 2 after 3.
Watch out.
I think we've got a very exciting contest on our hands here. Bat and ball going head to head. Darted in. Parveen Kumar, he's picked up an early wicket. Got the breakthrough for Canada today. He'll want a couple more just to make sure that his side is in a good position.
And now you really get that cat and mouse game because you've got to think about the 2 wickets you've lost.
Just so watchful with the spinners, isn't it? There is definitely a little bit out there for the spinners. We saw it when Nepal were out there with the ball. Deepinder Singh Airy bowled exceptionally well. Sandeep Lamichhane picking up 3 wickets today.
And you look at this outfield, it's very difficult to get it to the fence. And so once you get beyond this power play, it's going to get that much more difficult.
I think the positive here for Nepal is they've really come out all guns blazing. They know only 2 fielders out for these first 6 overs. They want to make use of this power play. Of course, missing Dylan Haliger up at the top too. Well, movement.
But you also look at it the other way. They were at 17 in the second over, and they've only managed the 6 runs since. So Canada has really done well to pull things back. Obviously, wickets can do that for you, but they're definitely bowling with their tails up.
But going for the big heave, manages to sweep that into the leg side. It's just going to be a single. But very watchful of the spinners here in Nepal. And I think they know just from the amount of movement or the amount of turn that they got when they were out in the field with the ball.
And it's that bounce, that variable bounce. Those ones that keep low are impossible to get away.
Giving himself some room, and you saw that shot coming from a mile away. From the time that he started to back away, 6 more maximum, and really dents this decent over from Parveen Kumar. 4 overs gone, 30 for 2.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. Azad! TD, ready for you.
Well, shot and a half that. Canal facing 2 deliveries brought in for the T20s, Dave Canal, and he's really maximized it for himself. Always hurts as a bowler, doesn't it, to go for 6 runs on your last ball when you bowl such a good over leading into it.
And especially from a Canadian perspective, you'd be thinking you are just taking control of the match again, and then you get that release shot. And again, Nepal can feel like, okay, another 2 overs at this rate, and you're well in command.
Let's spin on both ends now. Harsh Tucker coming into the attack, and that's nearly swept into the hands of Aaron Johnson.
Seemed like a bit off balance there as he tried to almost scoop it over, and just one bounce to Aaron Johnson at short fine leg.
Watchfully played. Smart cricket this though from Nepal, picking up the 6 runs off the last delivery, and now just looking to rotate the strike, wait on that bad ball. Canada, they've picked up 2 wickets here, but they're going to need a few more. Just defending 93 more from here.
Well, a third in this power play would be absolutely massive. If Harsh Tucker can come through, obviously he'll be eager to contribute with the ball, having not done much with the bat on this day.
You were part of the squad, weren't you? You were involved with the Canadian team that traveled to the T20 World Cup. What was it like over there? The atmosphere within the team, the dugout?
It was such an incredible opportunity, and to be with the players throughout and just watch the way they were able to embrace that opportunity, get that first win against a side, a test playing side, was fantastic.
Well, this might be some runs. Doesn't quite find the boundary, but they'll pick up some runs here in Nepal. They're definitely on the offensive here. Healthy crowd today to come and see, to come and watch an exciting T20 games. The first one of 6 What? Yes, no, sent back, safe in the end, and it's going to be a dot to end the 5th over. Nepal 32 for 2.
Seva is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. It's a no-frills thing to do.
Well, it's been a battle of wills the first 5 overs. 2 critical breakthroughs for Canada have very much kept them alive in this contest, but it is still advantage to Nepal. The target is just 124, so they only need to run a ball, and they're getting a fraction more than that at the moment, as Canada have gone quite spin heavy in the first 5 overs. Andrew Leonard here alongside Matt Bonner again. Matt, you're still kind of adjusting, aren't you? You're learning the pace as you go. Canada are showing fight.
They are. This is what we talked about. Stay tuned for the second half of this match because anything can happen. Canada making some big plays. We saw that diving catch. That would be on, the top 10 plays of the week right there.
Let's get it on there.
Yep.
Get it onto ESPN Sports Center.
Grab that photo frame. That's a poster. Sign it. Send it to the kids.
I quite enjoyed the celebration as well. Dilpreet Badra, and as Manali Patel was saying, the tour that he had in the Netherlands was, like by his own admission, it was as bad a fielding tour as I've seen. I think he dropped 6 catches in the 6 or 7 games he played, as Akhil Kumar comes into the attack, and look out, cameraman, very nearly clocks into our man.
Our camera guy didn't even flinch either. They missed him by a foot.
Yeah, not a great delivery, was it? Angling down the leg side, so all Dev Canal needed to do was get it round the corner. Remember, he's on his T20I debut too. I think many Nepal fans, they see Dev Canal as maybe a long-term solution for some of their batting woes. He's a different kind of makeup, doesn't he? Just in terms of his style and his shape. He's a lot taller than a lot of his teammates, maybe with the exception of Gulshan Jah, and he's a very elegant and languid player. This time he's beaten for pace, though. You watched a little bit of Kalim Sana bowl. I told you to keep your eyes on him. How impressed were you with that?
Yeah, that thing was coming in hot. I would not want to... We saw that one kind of backward shot that Team Canada did. Take a look at the replay here. Like a jump swing. The old jump swing. But the one you were talking about where you jump in front and kind of flick it off the bat behind you.
The ramp shot.
I wouldn't want to be trying that with him throwing the ball.
Not to Kalim Sana. This one beats the outside edge. Lovely length from Akhil Kumar.
So this is his debut.
In this format. So he has played ODI cricket, the 50-over game for Nepal.
So, how on it are these national teams with the young talent coming up? And then, on the flip side, the guys who are on the team, how worried are they that they're going to be replaced?
The amazing thing about the Nepal team is they're incredibly young. It's really just Karen KC and Sampal Kami that they're up kind of towards the 30 or north of 30. As Canal goes down towards deep. It's another stunner! In the same part of the field, Dilpreet Badra the first time. This time, it's Kalim Sana. 2 spectacular catches. And Canada, well, they are coming to life in the defence of this low total.
You do not want to hit it to that part of the field, Lenny, because you're just going to get out. Dive and catch once again. It's like lightning strikes twice. Spectacular.
Well, this is quite brilliant. The athleticism first shown by Dilpreet Badra in a catch where he was running over his shoulder. The only difference here for Kalim Sana, he had to go to his left. Canal the latest to fall for 11, and the score 32 for 3.
Yeah, when that ball came off, I'm like, oh, there we go. That's 4 or 6, but no, man. And those are the kind of plays you got to make when you didn't score like Canada did. Check out the replay here.
36 for 3 the score. In fact, you'll see the brilliance of Sana here, identifying where he is in relation to the rope and then getting in the acrobatic dive. It is his stronger side. He's a left-handed bowler and fielder, but that is another specky. We've seen 2 already today, and both have belonged to Canada.
Yeah, and Canada's probably going to need a few more if they want to win this match, but plays like that will keep you in the game. We're talking about how defense wins. That saves some runs right there.
So in comes young Kushal Malla. We were just talking about young prodigious cricketers. Nepal, of the 20 teams that went to that T20 World Cup back in June in the USA and the Caribbean, they were the youngest squad by a distance. Average age, just a fraction over 23.
Wow.
Quite remarkable. Youngest captain in the tournament as well. That's Rohit Paudel, who's at the non-strikers. And he's actually the youngest captain to ever captain his nation in any World Cup, any senior World Cup, men's or women's. Really impressive, the young talent.
You know what I'm
going to
ask after everything you said? Why? Why are they so young?
There's just a hunger, isn't there, from a very young and very energetic side. The love for cricket in Nepal, it would stagger you, Matt. It's quite incredible. It's inbuilt into the culture and the national consciousness. As Kumar beats the outside edge, it is by a distance the most popular sport in the country, and I have to say their love for the game, absolutely inspiring. I think the youth thing is just a byproduct, really, of, I guess, of the culture of the country as well. I think a lot of players, as they get to sort of 25, 30, if they haven't quite made it, they will emigrate. They'll often head down to Australia or to come to America or to Canada if they can get some opportunities, whether that's to play some club cricket. So as a consequence, they really back their own youth, their home-produced youth. Gets us to the end of the power play, and maybe, just maybe, Canada edging ahead in the game. It's 36 for 3.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
So the end of the power play, it's probably, if anything, a 50-50 game right now. Nepal have had some batting woes, particularly in the 50-over format. They're looking to turn those around here in the T20s. Did everything right for the first 20 overs, but Canada have come roaring back at them. You can almost feel the tension here now, Matt Bonner, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, those two diving catches really swung the momentum and the energy, it felt like. You know, the whole time Nepal was in the field, their cheering section were chanting, up, clapping. We're not hearing much from them right now.
Remember, it could have been even worse for Nepal. I thought that was a catching opportunity down at a deep third man where Rohit Paudel loves playing that uppercut shot. He was actually dismissed to that exact same stroke to Kalim Sana in the ODIs, the first ODI between these two countries. I think, not sure who the fielder was down at deep third. Ansh Patel, he didn't get a great line on the ball, did he? Ended up kind of wrong-footing himself. Yep,
exactly. You know, you got to get that initial break when the ball hits the bat. You know, they're coming in so hot. That split second is the difference between making the play and not, for sure, in any sport.
There is going to be a slip in place, so with Thacker bowling his off breaks, he's going to turn the ball away from the left-hander. He's trying to bring that slip into place to get into play, really, to get another wicket, find a fourth.
Wow.
Just skids on, angles on. Kushal Mal is known as a big hitter, but he's just been a little bit shy of form. Left out of the ODIs, back in now for the T20s. Both him and indeed Dipendra Singh Airi, their innings with the bat. We may see Airi in next, I think, at number 6. They're going to be critical. But pressure is very much on Nepal.
Yeah, and you look at this replay, see how close he came to hitting the wicket. Not quite there. The sports psychology, I think, comes into play like this.
To the end of the 7th, sorry, Matt.
Yeah,
score
go ahead. We'll
37 for 3.
Seva is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So it's a no-frills thing to do.
So the required run rate, keep your eyes on that in the bottom left of your screen. Nepal won't want that going up sort of past 7 or 8 and over, because then obviously it's more than one run for every single ball that they're going to require. And now it's going to be a trial by spin. Young Ansh Patel, who is making, I believe, his T20I debut today. He did debut last week in the ODIs. He's still just 22 years of age. You talk about some young Canadian talent coming through, and it is indeed his first T20I. What he'll do here, Matt, is he'll bowl the same as Sandeep Lamachani, but the mirror image. So he's a left arm wrist spinner, which is the rarest style of bowling in all of cricket. And he can turn it both ways as well.
That definitely keeps the batter on his toes, I would assume. You don't know what's coming.
There's something almost, it's probably a little bit like a sidearm pitcher, you know, some of those unorthodox
like
ones.
Dennis Eckersley.
Yeah, in baseball.
Yep.
It's almost just because you're not used to facing it, it becomes that bit more difficult.
Yeah, I read a really interesting book called The Sports Gene about all these like micro moves.